Divine Beings, Nimue here. Today I wanted to do a reading with one of my favorite deck pairings that I did a video on recently, and I'll link that below if you want to see all of both decks together. But these are the Celtic Goddesses, Witches, and Queens Oracle over here. And I bought this deck to pair with the Witch Sister Tarot. Such a big box. Because they're both rooted in Celtic lore and Celtic goddesses and witches. And I knew that this was going to be a deck that was going to just be for me and my own personal growth and journey and inner work. And, you know, I feel very attached, connected to Celtic pantheon. And plus, there's a Nimue card in here, which is me, my namesake, Nimue. And so I felt really called to work with these together. So I have not worked with them together. And so in the video that I did showing both decks together, I didn't do a short reading. Usually at the end of those deck pairing videos, I pull one card from each deck and kind of, do a little reading together. I didn't do that in that one because I knew I wanted to do a longer one. Because I haven't started working with these decks together. I haven't started that journey. And so I just wanted to make a video today of pulling a few cards from each deck and then, working with the messages from the guidebook, seeing how they read together. They're both decent size guidebooks and well written. So pull a few cards from each deck and sit with the messages and read the messages, go over what the authors wrote in each of the guidebooks and really see how they work together. All right, let's do that. So, okay, maybe I'll do a little shuffle. I might pause this if I can't get these cards to go out quickly. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to try to put that there. So we pulled Miss, and the other card that came out was Domnu. Okay, so let's pull these now. Okay, I'm really glad I paused that because that actually took forever to get 3 cards to come out. So we pulled the Four of Waters. We pulled the Moon Child. And the Six of Skies. And I just think these, I bought this not only because they were both based in, around Celtic witches and goddesses, but I just think they look so beautiful together. These are a lot of like blues and greens, but a lot of the other cards in both decks are very like oranges and reds, and so they just, so great together. Okay, so we're going to dive into the guidebooks of both and just kind of see what's there. Now, with both of them, I'm not going to read everything. At the beginning, in the Celtic Witches, Goddesses, and Queens Oracle, the first part is like history, and so we're not going to read that. We're just going to read the divinatory meaning. I'm also not going to read the prayer, but it's beautiful to work with the goddess. And then in the Witch Sister Tarot, probably just the divinatory meaning as well. She doesn't write a whole lot at the beginning, but we don't need to take up time. It again goes over about the goddess or the witch or the story behind who's in the card. But for today's purposes, that is not that important. And we will start with the Four of Waters. It says the Four of Waters speaks of lineage and of homecoming. The sea-green eyes of the young apprentice are serene, for her service is gladly given. It flows from love and a deep sense of belonging. It's such a basic human desire to want to feel that we belong, and yet it's something we so often struggle with. The Four of Wands asks us to reflect on the ways that we already do belong. What roles do we fulfill that help others? What traditions and skills are we helping to keep alive? How can we trace back the source from which our strength and identity spring? These are not easy questions and will not be answered all at once, but if we can open our hearts to them, a tiny trickle may soon become a full flow. And next, we'll look at the Moon Child. So our Moonchild here is not quite the same as the Moon card found in more traditional tarot decks, which is generally a very mixed blessing. The Moonchild shines from within. She is like a pearl, beautiful, whole, and self-contained. She is at one with the great Mother Moon and comes to us as a little child, beautiful, delicate, full of immeasurable potential. When the Moonchild appears in your reading, you are ready to light up the night. It's time to connect to the source of your own magic. In childhood, we can feel strong, invulnerable. We believe we can do anything. The Moonchild tells us we still have all that power and potential within us. We may need to shake off the veils that have been dimming our inner light, but soon it will be beaming out, and beautiful things will be drawn to us like her hawk moth companion. And then we'll look at the Six of Skies here. There we go. So their golden glow, at first barely perceptible against the dark sky, strengthens as they flutter closer. She holds them in her mind's eye, not needing to raise her trembling lids to see them, and the radiant vibrations of their song bathes her like starlight. The Six of Skies is a card of union and harmony. It brings peace and understanding. The theme of communication between the living and the spirit realm may indicate their inner healing, to do with our relationship with a lost loved one. Or it may be that a connection with a living person, which we had thought damaged beyond repair, can be restored after all. The Six may even throw light upon the stirrings of a gift in us, illuminating a path of development in our intuitive or psychic powers. It may simply be that our sensitivity and empathy are particularly keen-edged in the present situation, enabling us to bring understanding between those who feel like they inhabit different worlds. Okay, so now let's take a look at our oracle cards. We will start with Miss. Isn't she crazy looking? So cool. Okay. So Miss says to us, pain, fear, grief, and rage come to all of us at some point in our life's journey. At times, the travails of life may be too hard to bear. There is no shame in feeling our wounds and becoming aware of the trauma within you and others. While we may live in a society that turns away from others' pain, it is nonetheless an experience we all share. Seek solace in wild, quiet places and tend to your connection and elements, earth, air, fire, and water, to let the voice of nature speak to you the wounds that will not heal alone. Let the path through the forest bring you back to your own soul. Time alone need not be feared, but can be a blessing. Seek the company of compassionate people. It is empowered to choose healing. Seek assistance or take time out from life if it is what you need to be whole. Be kind to yourself. Oh, I love that. Okay, and then this one, I don't know if I'm saying her right, Domnu. I was wrong. It's not Domnu, it's Daunu. And I love that they give pronunciations in the book. So Daunu. And Daunu says to us, if Daunu calls to you, it is time to look deep inside yourself and explore the sides of your nature that you may deny or suppress. What hidden, unseen things are you hiding within yourself? Equally, you may be faced with a situation that has deep roots and unseen motives, or you may find yourself cast upon waves not of your making. To find your way forward, you need to accept and understand the cathartic forces that disrupt us and provide the undercurrents to our lives and motivations. It is time to learn to navigate the depths of your experience and acknowledge what you have been trying to ignore. Often, when we come face to face with our deepest selves, great healing and transformations can occur. Oh, I love this. I'm going to be working with this probably the rest of the day. But thank you so much for hanging out with me and playing kind of with the first reading of these two decks for me and with me. So, yeah, thanks for joining, and I'll see you next time.